Okay, we're going to do a couple of more strategies that can help us with our uh, solving these longer or bigger multiplication problems. And to begin with, we're going to talk about expanded form. You know how to do expanded form, how to write numbers in expanded form, and so we're going to use that as a strategy, and it's really not a lot different than the distributive property. In fact, we're going to still use the distributive property, but we're going to think of it by just writing a number in expanded form rather than just breaking the number up into smaller pieces. So, for instance, if we have 5 times 143, how do you write 143 in expanded form? Well, we have 100 plus 40 plus 3. So 5 times 100, 5 times 40, and 5 times 3. If I add or multiply all of these little parts out, that's 500. And then 500 plus, well, 5 times 40 is 200. And then scroll down some more. If I do the ones place the same way, 5 times 3 is 15. Now, what do I come up with? I come up with partial products. That means I've got a product here that's part of the answer, a product here that's part of the answer, and a third product here that's part of the answer. And I can just add all those together, and that will give me 5 plus, that's 1, and there's a 7, 715. So 5 times 143 is 715. Not very hard and not very different than what we have already been doing. If I do it one more time in expanded form, here I'm going to write down these numbers in expanded form, and the numbers that I'm multiplying are 3 and 1,250. And let's look at the word problem. The gift shop at the animal park orders 3 boxes of toy animals. Each box has 1,250 toy animals. That's 3 groups of 1,250. So 3 times 1,000 plus 200 plus 50. All I did was write that number again in expanded form. Now I'm going to write it down here. That's 3 times 200 there. They've already written our 1,000. And here's 3 times 50. Multiply all those together, I get partial products of 3,000. That's going to be a 600. That's going to be a 600. So let's see, we'll say that's going to be 3,000. That's a 600. And that's a 150. That's a 0. That's a 5. That's a 7. And that's a 3. 3,750. And that's our answer. Now let's go and do some more with just partial products, and we won't look so much at the diagrams. Let's go back. Pens are going to freeze up on me. Well, let's see if I can refresh my page. Have patience. Have patience. Okay, got to go back and find our next page, which is going to be the one about partial products. Bear with me just a moment. It's going to be 7.5. 7.5, and we're doing the same thing again, but we're going to do it without the drawings so much. Now, you see we still have the drawing. It's still here, but now we're going to try to do it without actually writing it out that way. We just have the problem 182 times 6. What's 6 times 100? Because this one's in the hundreds place. That's going to be 600. 6 times 80, because that's in the tens place, it's 8 tens. That's going to be 480. And then 6 times 2 is going to be 12 ones, or just 12. Okay? Now, after I have all those numbers, I just add them together, and, well, that's it. There's a 2, There's a 9, and 6 and 4 is 10. 1,092. Easy as can be. Let's do another one. 137 times 2. 137 times 2. 2 times 100. 2 times 100 is 200. 2 times 30 is 60. And 2 times 7 is 14. If I add those numbers together, there's a 4, there's a 7, and there's a 2. 137 times 2 is 274. I hope you can see that these are all very, very similar to what we already did today in class. Now, I'm going to assign you to finish these 3 problems here. Notice they're asking you to estimate. When you estimate, you're going to round the big number to the nearest, well, let's say to the nearest 100, 100, and 1,000. Nearest 100, nearest 100, nearest 1,000, and multiply, and that'll be your estimate. And then actually do the multiplication with partial products and see how close you get. Hope you have a good evening. Hope you come to open house tonight, and we will see you tomorrow.